Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Evans, and today I will be explaining my Literacy Inquiry Plan of Instruction. The inquiry question that I proposed is, what informational books and projects can second graders use to produce quality writing aligned with the standards to help scaffold their writing? This activity would be directed for a second grade writing assignment. It will include reading materials, books, graphic organizers to represent the information, and writing lined paper to complete the paragraphs and materials for the projects. This plan uses the second grade Common Core state standards, an article titled Supporting Informational Writing in the Elementary Grades by Donovan and Smolkin, and Learning to Read and Write, Developmentally Appropriate Practices for Young Children, as established by the NAEYC. The overall outline for the plan is to help students examine a nonfiction text and write an informative piece of writing, 2 ordered paragraphs, and create a project as an extension of the writing. The purpose of this activity is for the students to scaffold their writing by examining informational books and gather information to produce an informative piece of writing. The goal is for the students to acquire mastery using the rubric designed for informational second grade writing. The objectives for the lesson would be, for students will research a nonfiction text based on instructional reading level. Students will use a nonfiction text to create a writing assignment consisting of 2 ordered paragraphs, and students will create project based on informational text and 2 ordered paragraphs of informative writing. The standards align to this plan. W2.2. Write informative and explanatory text in which they introduce a topic, use facts and definitions to provide a concluding statement. W2.7. Participating in shared research and writing projects. Third grade writing standards. W3.2. Write informative and explanatory text to examine a topic and convey ideas and information clearly. W3.8. To recall information from experiences and gather information from print and digital resources. Setting the purpose. The purpose for this lesson is for the students to scaffold their writing by using a nonfiction book for the writing. The teacher will create a project beforehand of an informational book and an extension of the book and the writing. The teacher will model how to use a graphic organizer to gather ideas and information based off of the nonfiction and informational text. The book that I chose to use for this project to model it is How and Why Birds Use Their Bills. When looking at the book, you can see that there's words to go along with the pictures. Throughout the story, it discusses the different uses and how and why of the birds and how they use their bills for different purposes. What's very nice at the end of the book is that it has questions that try and guide the comprehension. Some informational texts that are leveled based on Fountas and Pinnell reading books from WillBooks would be appropriate for this project. A list of books can be found on WillBooks, The books are informative and have appropriate wording and vocabulary based on reading level and comprehension. Plans for engaging the readers in the text. Day 1. The teacher will begin with a whole group discussion of what informational books are used for. The teacher will display the informational book that he or she chose to read. The teacher will have a graphic organizer set up of how to model information while reading a text. The 2 graphic organizers that I chose for this book are called information gathering. The how they use their bills and why they use their bills. The teacher will read the story and stop and write the information in the graphic organizer. The teacher will dismiss the students into their guided writing groups. In the guided writing groups, the teacher will place a variety of nonfiction books for the students to read based on their instructional reading level. The teacher will place a variety of books of each level so that the students can choose a book that will interest them. The teacher will monitor each group and provide students with graphic organizers, webs, informational lists, KWL charts, writing utensils, writing paper for the students to utilize and gather the information based on the text that they read. At the end of the guided writing time, students will come back to a large group and share what book they have chosen and what organizer they chose to gather the information. Day 2. The teacher will begin by modeling the paragraphs that he or she wrote using the information from the text and the graphic organizer. The teacher will dismiss the students into the guided writing groups. After gathering the information from the text, the students will begin to form their ordered paragraphs. The teacher will remind students of what is consisted of a paragraph and how to put the information from the graphic organizer into the writing. The teacher will monitor as students work in their guided writing groups. Day 3. The teacher will begin by allowing students to transition straight to guided writing groups. The teacher will meet with the groups and review with writing with the students. This is the conferencing stage. The students will complete their writing 2 ordered paragraphs. They will revisit the text and make sure that they are utilizing the nonfiction book to produce an informational text. Accompanying activity. The teacher will begin by showing his or her example of the extension activity of the research that went along with the book. I chose to do a poster that is very similar to the book. Each picture has a little caption that goes along with it. The teacher will base writing an activity project based on the book that they chose to read. The students will use the text and writing projects to create an extension activity, such as a poster, diorama, or display of what their ordered paragraphs are about. Day 5. The students will share their projects with the class by displaying a book that inspired the informational text, project, and writing. The teacher will model how to state a compliment or how they like their classmates' work. Example, I like the way that you showed the information about pandas from the story. I like the way you used the KWL chart to show what you learned about the pyramids. Here is the rubric that the teacher will use to grade the writing. It is a 2nd grade writing rubric for informational writing. The students will also be graded on class participation as they complete their assignments. Reflection. When I taught 2nd grade, I found it really beneficial to be in the guided writing groups with similar writing abilities. I would meet with individual groups similar to the guided reading groups and have them read the book together and participate in the collaborative writing activities. It was pretty successful for this grade level because they were so scattered in their writing levels that the guided writing groups kind of helped focus and help the students move to the next level that they needed to be. What questions do I still have after completing this literacy plan? How can I implement this activity into the curriculum to help foster their creativity while it still lines up to the standards? This activity focuses on a book for the reading level so that they won't feel apprehensive about trying to do the writing that goes along with it. What would happen if the students got frustrated halfway through the project? That's why I chose to have this activity designed for different reading levels and different writing levels and have the teacher confer with students so frustration levels do not rise and the students can be successful in their reading and writing activities. I hope you enjoyed this activity and I look forward to your feedback. Thank you. Have a good day.